Good afternoon, Jim Hodges here, Edgar here. Edgar is a 10-month-old lab that came in for our residency program. Really excitable, really energetic, really happy. He just goes 110% or he doesn't go at all. One of the things that he did, if you remember, if you go to Facebook and you'll look, you'll see him coming, his drop-off here to visit us. He was pulling everywhere, trying to get to the cats, just trying to go wherever he wanted to. Hopefully, we've made a change there. And we made a change so that he understands he has boundaries. To please us, he has certain things he has to do. We have to take responsibility and make sure he understands he has to do these things. I typically say a dog doesn't just happen to do it. He tends to learn from his environment, what he can get away and what he's rewarded with. Whether we think it's a reward or not, he thinks it's a reward and he continues to do these behaviors, and they typically grow as he moves on. You're going to see two behaviors that I'm going to address in this video, and those behaviors I may have to correct, I may try to fix. One is when Edgar sits. When Edgar sits, sometimes he'll sort of slouch and one of his legs will pop out. I call it a lazy sit. A lot of puppies grow out of it, but I have been working real hard to try to straighten that up. If you want to continue to straighten up, you'll do what I ask and I'll show you again one-on-one. If you don't mind, then don't worry about it. I just know he can sit straight, and I'm trying to get him straight to sit straight a little more often. The other thing is, I love to give treats to a dog. I love to give treats when they're learning commands, and I love to give treats when they've done something well done the first time that I ask. He is a piranha on a leash. He is ready to go after that treat like that. So I'm going to make sure that I give him the treat in a very proper way, and we're trying to teach him, and you'll see me say a word that I don't say very often, easy, when I am giving him the treat. And what I'll do is I'll hold my hand out and let him take it nicely. If I hold it like that, he's going to bite my fingers off, and he's done that, I'm sure, for the last 6, 8, 10 months. So we want to try to reverse that behavior. So if a child or someone ever goes to give him a treat, that he's just not going to be pouncing at it. So listen to my tone of voice. Watch what I do when he does good. Watch what I do when he doesn't do so well. You know, I am going to bite the leash. I am going to tap. That's what I call as a bite. It's simply to redirect. We're not here to intimidate, dominate, or break his spirit in any way. We're just here to let him know what pleases us and what doesn't. And to let him understand that we're not going to have him do these things that he shouldn't be doing for us to be able to live together for the rest of our lives. You ready, man? Let's go. Attaboy. So when we're walking on a leash, he walks slow, he walks fast, he walks different speeds. I sort of did that backwards. He walks fast, he walks slow, instead of just the opposite way that I did it. But he's right here beside us. If he started to go off in front, I would tap the leash behind him and say, no, let's go. I haven't asked him to sit, but you see that slouchy sit? Here's what I'll do. No, sit. No, sit. Come on, buddy. No, sit. Good boy. And I'm just going to do this over and over and over. Break. Is it a bad behavior? No, I just want to work on it. So I apologize for the faux pas on the let's go. But the purpose of the let's go is for him to watch and pay attention to us. When we speed up, when we slow, when we turn, he's to go with us. No more is he going to be pulling the leash. If he starts to get out in front of us, we're going to tap the leash back. If he starts to get out in front of us, we're going to change direction. But when we change direction, he doesn't follow, we're going to tap the leash. If he starts to go out that side, we're going to tap the leash. And we're going to tap it in the direction we want him. And typically, we're going to tell him no when we tap the leash and then repeat the command, let's go. Just as important as the no is when he's doing it right, when he's being a good boy, that we praise him with words and touch as much as we can. Let's go. Heard my tone of voice? So another thing that will happen is if he starts to pull, we would come to a jump stop and pop back, okay, to let him see that we're in control. Good boy. Sit. Attaboy. See how I gave him the treat? Good boy. Now, in the sit, he's in that sit until I release him. If he was to start to get up, I would tap the leash and go, no, sit. If he did not sit, I would go, no, sit. All right, sit. So now what did I do? He wanted to flop over again. As I said in the video, he's going to be doing that an awful lot. We're still working on it. He's improved tremendously. It's just a comfortable thing for him. No, sit. That's another reason why I don't like to keep a dog in a sit for a long time. He may not be comfortable in that position. So we wouldn't keep him there for a minute or two. I typically 15, 20, 30 seconds to a minute, and then break, we move on. But I have had a dog, I've had my own dog do that, a dog that I adopted a number of years ago, and I fixed it with him, and it was not a problem after that. So on the sit, sit. Nice, sit, good boy. Break. Now when I break him in any of the commands, I may not always mention it, but you're going to see me step away, and when he comes to me, I'm going to pet him. I am subliminally teaching him that when I release the command that I'm the center of the universe and to come to me to give praise. Guess what? That's going to increase our bond. It's also going to help on the recall later. Let's go. Play. Good boy. Now when I told him to place, I pointed at the bed. He can get on the bed, lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what he does as long as he stays on the bed. He can do this for easy a couple of hours at a time. Now, let's go back to the treats just a second. This guy is a treat maniac. If I wanted to give him treats, I would give him a treat for something he did very well the first time. Okay? If he did something wrong and I was prepared to give him a treat, I'm not going to give him that treat. I'm going to provide the redirect, no, and the command, and I'm going to ask him to do it again. But I'm not going to give a treat, no matter how often I want to give a treat, unless he does what I asked the first time. And normally, I'm going to have it already loaded in my hand so he doesn't see it coming, okay? I don't want him working for the treat. He's doing the work because I asked him to do it. The treat is nothing more than a bonus or a tip for a job well done. Break. So now I broke him. I didn't say let's go. I'm not going to tell him to SIT. If we were walking down the street and we stopped to talk to someone, I would just have him by my side. I don't care if he sits, if he wants to lay down, he just cannot pull me on a leash like this, okay? So hand signal, sit. Good boy. Now watch. Down. Good boy. See, he even does the flop a little bit on the down, and I'm not going to worry so much about that as I am the sit. And remember, as I said before, you don't have to worry about it at all. If you don't mind the flop, let it happen. There's a chance he may grow out of it. So now when I told him down, if he didn't do it, I would have tapped the leash towards the ground. No, down. Sit would have been no, sit. And then after I bid him, I would still come back and provide a little bit of praise. Unlike the sit command, I'll keep him in a down as long as I need it. He's comfortable there. We're not putting pressure on his rear end or anything else. If I was going to have him there for a long time, I would go, stay. Now, when I told him to stay, that means to pack his bags. He's going to be there a while. He can roll over on his side. He can go to sleep. He can chew a bone. I don't care what he does as long as he stays. When I go to get him out of that stay, I typically will call him by name unless his attention is already focused on me, okay? Difference between down, when I just tell him down, he needs to be waiting for the next command. When I tell him down, stay, that means he can chill and not worry about things till I'm telling him. No. No. So watch what I'm doing. I'm grabbing the snout, told him no till he dropped it. If he goes back after it, no. Down, stay. Now, as I said, when I told him down, stay, he could do anything he wanted, chew, sleep. He can't chew stuff up off the ground. We don't want that behavior to start to occur. That's why I corrected or bit that. Now, if you also notice, whenever I grabbed his snout and told him no, when it fell back on the ground, I didn't bother to pick it up. When he went back to pick it up, I tapped the leash and told him no, down again. Very important. We can't move everything out of his way all of his life. In fact, he's got a behavior at home that we're going to talk about that we have to be in a position to show him he can't do this. Okay, the mouthing, the chewing behavior. So now I'm ready. Break. So the DOWN from the side was like this. Now, sit, good, down. Now what I did was give him the down like this. This is from front. Now, because he went and chewed on that acorn in the stay, in a relaxed state, doesn't mean I'm not going to forget it. So I've got him in a down without the STAY now, and I'm just watching to see what he does. If he started to try to pick up something, I would bite again and tell him, no, down, because down is the command he's in. The next thing I do, and I've got a treat loaded up, come. He comes, he sits in front of me, good boy. I want to give a treat, nice and easy. Good boy. Attaboy, break. So when I told him to come, this was the hand command, he comes to me and he sits, come. And he sits right in front of me, waits for a treat, waits for a pat, love. He's in a sit command. If he started to get up, it would be no sit until I broke him. Break. Good boy. I didn't give him a treat that time, and if you notice the last time, I had the treat already in my hand. Now let's talk about the come off of leash, okay? And I'm going to try to simulate that if I can. He's paying a little bit of attention. We may move to something else and come back to it. But when our dog's out in the yard, we never, off leash, we never just tell him to come unless we know he's going to do it. Most everyone I talk to that has a problem with come tells their dog to come. They see the cat, they see a bird, squirrel, whatever. They hear us say come and they ignore it. All of a sudden they learn they do not have to listen to us. So when we do off leash, the first 200-300 times, that sounds like a lot, and it is, but we've got to build a good behavior. We get his attention first. We get him to commit to coming to us before we tell him come. So when he's running to us, he's excited about what's going to happen on this end when he gets here. And we're going to tell him to come in the middle of that running to us so he creates a good association. We never, when he gets to us, are going to take him and put him up, correct him, provide any kind of punishment. When he comes to us, we're going to pat him, love him, give him a treat, give him a toy, and release him. He's got to trust us. He's got to want to come to us. It's a lot of work. Anybody out there wants to read a little bit more, I've got a short little article on my website. Just go to the search bar and type in come under Jim Hodges Dog Training. So I'm going to come back to that COME whenever I can sort of not have his attention, which may be here in just a second. Right there, take it easy. So pretend like he was loose in the yard. I haven't done this before with him with the leash, but listen to my tone of voice. Edgar, hey, look what I got. Come. Easy. Attaboy. Break. That's how we would do it in the yard. If you notice, if you go back, you'll see that tail doing that. He was real excited, and that's when I told him come. Say he was ignoring me, and he wasn't going to come. I would have never told him come. The only time I'm going to tell him come is when he's already committed to coming to me. And when he comes to me, I'm going to pet him, I'm going to love him, I'm going to give him a treat. I'm going to make his day, okay, completely. So let's go. So now we know what we've got. We've got the DOWN from the side, from in front, the SIT, the stay, okay? Sit. We've got the place. Let's go. One more time. Watch my hand. Place. Good boy. And the point was for the command. Break. Now we can teach him to get on furniture, load up. I use the same hand. Up. Ah, boy. Good boy. Break. Let's go. So now we're let's go. Sit. Nice sit. Good boy. So I want him to know when he's doing good, okay? Here's the heel command. The heel command is we've got an imaginary box by our side. It's our, sit. Good boy. It's our job to keep him in that box. It's his job to stay in it. So when we make sudden moves, we've got to give him a chance to react to it and get back in the box. If he ignores it, we're going to tap him into the box. It's a lot like the let's go, but a little bit tighter. Heel. Hand signal out. I turn. Step off. See how he comes right back in? Attaboy, and he sits automatically. I can step, no, sit. I can step off. He should stay there. He messed up a little bit there. Let's do it again. Heel. Good boy. And he can hold it. When we just do sit, he can hold it. When we just do down, he can hold it. So we come right back, heel, atta boy. Step up, turn tight around. He comes around that circle. Good boy, a little slow, but that was good. Break. Nice sits on the back end. It's really important that I believe in motivation. I believe in working with dogs in a language they understand. When we're happy, we're going to pet him, we're going to love him, we're going to tell him he's a good boy, we're going to give him a toy, we're going to give him a treat. When he does something wrong, we're going to bite him. It's going to tap of the leash and tell him no. We may ignore him and tell him no. We may isolate him by putting him somewhere else and just completely avoiding him. These are all things that are involved in a dog relationship. The most important thing with obedience, I like to tap the leash when we're here together. Because when I tap the leash and tell him no, I am biting him like maybe Mom did with the pup, okay, as a pup. And I'm letting him know I don't want that to happen when you're doing that. When he does good and I praise him, I'm telling him I do want that. When he's just laying there on the ground or on the floor in the house, good boy. Because he's not chewing up your walls, he's not chewing up the floor or anything else. We want him to know we're pleased with him chilling. Our job is to praise him 20 times more during the day than we bite him. Okay? If he does something right, he's going to do that over and over again till you fix it. If he does something good, he's going to do that over and over again. Put a command to it. Give him a reward and a praise, and now you got a new level of command or a trick with him in his arsenal of what he knows to do. He's a great guy. He sees the cats, but you notice he hasn't tried to pull. He's a really good boy. He needs the boundaries. It's only natural for him to do what comes natural, which is go do whatever he wants. We're changing that now. And you know, if you ever need me, you pick up the phone, you give me a call. Okay, it's 336-945-3232. My website, JimHodgesDogTraining.com. Facebook is facebook.com/Jim Hodges Dog Training. And of course, you can see this video or any of the other videos just by typing Jim Hodges Dog Training on YouTube. I want to help. If you ever need me, you got to pick up the phone and call me. If you need to come out and work with me, there's never a charge for that. I want what's best for you. I want what's best for him. Dogs have been very good to me in my life, and I want to share that goodness with you and your family and him. Thank you so much. Take care. Break.